What's your favorite song to play in the car and why?
Big Energy by Lotto. And that is my favorite because I feel like I'm a bad chick too.
Hey guys, I'm Bond Girl Jessica.
And I'm Boss Babe Keela.
And I'm Girl Boss Lena.
And today is
Whine Down Wednesdays.
Wednesday. And of course,
Things that you love.
There we go. And of course, I have my other cup
Utterly
ready to see what we talk about today. Why can't it show?
Because you're magical, girl. You're magical.
censoring your teats.
You're magical. It's blocking you out because you keep showing us your teats.
Okay, it's not made for children.
This is a family-friendly show. Stop showing us your teats.
Bond, this is Whine Down Wednesday after dark.
After dark.
Teats come out at night.
Instead of the freaks, it's the teats. Okay. What is one common misconception?
Girl, you then muted yourself. The common misconception is you keep going on mute. We should be able to hear you.
There you go. What is one common
Sorry.
misconception about what?
Oh, about you. What is one common misconception about you?
I think that people think I'm an extrovert. That's a common misconception.
Yeah, because I thought you were.
No, I'm not.
I thought you were too. For me, I am hella self-conscious and not really comfortable in front of the camera or speaking in front of people or anything like that.
Really?
Never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
Well, this is the air your dirty laundry day.
Yeah. What about you, Jessica?
People think she cares.
Common, or that they're her friend, or that they're dating.
Oh, I'm such an interesting person. Some people just think that I'm mean. But a lot of just because I don't be talking.
Well, you kind of got like the resting bee face.
That's true. I do. I don't deny that. But I will say when I was in high school, we had a wood stove or like a wood heater.
Right.
And so
in the house?
My dad
in the house?
Right. So my dad had, I don't know where he got it from, but he had a bunch of cherry wood. And if y'all don't know about cherry wood, well, this is how I learned what Black and Mild was. Because apparently cherry wood smells like Black and Mild. I had no idea. Or at least that's what I was told when I went to school. Yes. And people were like, "Oh, so you smoke?" And I'm like, "No."
No.
And they'd be like,
that wood scent got into your clothes, right?
And so then they would be like, "You smoke Black and Mild?" So I'm like, "What is a Black and Mild?" They was like, or some people used to think I smoke weed because they used to tell me I was too relaxed. And I'm like, I'm just chilling.
You're way too chill.
Yeah, they just assumed I was a smoker between me being calm and smelling like cherry wood. So
yeah. No, we know different. You don't smoke, she don't drink.
I think it's funny.
I'm just high off life.
And she does really care.
Sometimes.
But y'all really ain't dating and she's not your friend.
Judging.
And she judging you right now.
Consider yourself judge. No, but I think it's funny that people have all these thoughts about other people, like of who they are and how they are. I mean, I'm guilty of it. You know, I may look at someone and try to judge a book by its cover, as they say, but you really can't. You really don't. Um, People ask me when I tell them that I'm an introvert. You know, I say extra intro because I appear to be an extrovert, but I'm really not.
Right.
When I get home, I'm very quiet and I shut my door and I zone out. And I have to because otherwise I will have a meltdown and I turn into a bear if I get my brain is overstimulated
Overstimulated.
by people. And
Right.
so I can't do that. But I think I just think it's funny that people have all these different thoughts of other people and how they are, who they are. And really, you
Right.
have no idea until you get to know that person, right?
Right. Because, my personality, I'm very
Bubbly.
outgoing and very happy-go-lucky and all of that, very much so. And I'm very confident in like my skills. So, you know what I mean? I know I can, I know I'm a good mom. I know I can I can cook, I garden, I build stuff, I paint, I know I can have skills but as far as the visual or what I look like and all that kind of stuff, I've always been very, very, very self-conscious. Growing up in Connecticut with a biracial, my dad is black, my mom is white or Portuguese, and so growing up there where I was really the minority with, me, and especially like in my family, whoo, I didn't even meet my grandparents till I was 12 years old,
Wow.
and I didn't know, my uncle has never spoken a day to me and, spoken to me a day in his life, and he's now passed away, and he was like 70 something years old. You know what I mean? And so
Wow.
now I'm down here in Atlanta and I am, I'm light, I got the hair,
You like skin.
but I don't present like the regular black girl because I'm got a flat ass. You know what I mean? And so, so,
Hilarious.
and so I'm not necessarily accepted by the black community, you know what I mean, at large, and not really accepted by the white community at large. So I've always had this like identity crisis thing. So I've always been extremely self-conscious of the way I look and whatnot. Very, very much so.
Ask this question though, because do you think do you still feel that way now? I know going back like 80s, 90s, that was a big deal. Like if you were mixed, like you got the short end of the stick. You
Right.
couldn't identify with either side because either side was going to make you feel like you didn't belong. Do you feel
Right.
like it's still that same way now, in this day and age?
To an extent, I feel like, especially being down in the South, I feel like because I am lighter, it makes folks that are darker than me kind of like that whole light skin, dark skin thing. And the South is
Paper
color
bag.
struck. They're color struck, especially the men down here. And
Mm.
so it's hard to, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm glad that, my husband is actually from California. He's from, the Bay Area. And so, he's
West
got,
Coast.
yeah, throw up the B for Berkeley,
West
so
Side.
all of that, so he's from a place where it's multicultural and multi everything and very liberal out there. So he's used to being around a mix of people as opposed to somebody that's down here that has never seen somebody, the way I speak or, so I get a lot of trying to figure me out. Well, what is you? Is you
Mm.
Mexican? Is you black? Like, what is you?
You
You know what I mean? And
know
I'm
about that.
like,
That's crazy. That's interesting that you say that because for me, like you're totally normal to me, and but I am from California, so you'd fit right in out here because you would sound like everybody else out here. But
Right.
I don't think about that going to the South, that that's something that you know, that that's a problem still.
Always ask me where I'm from. Always ask me where I'm from.
I
Yeah.
could see that. I could see that. Do they think you're
And
from California?
Mm, mm-mm. They don't really pinpoint it. There are some words that I do say. If I'll be like, I'm telling my kids to go get my coffee. Well,
Oh,
the way I say it is going to be that's
it's
gonna so
coffee.
certain words that I say or phrases will give me away that I'm from up north. You know what I
Ah,
mean? Like Boston, Connecticut, New York. They'll be like,
I
okay, I
hear
heard
it.
an accent there.
So
But
my mom was from St. Louis, and for the most part, she'd been in California a really long time.
mhm.
But her accent would come out when she was mad. You'd hear it when she really didn't have the St. Louis accent as much, but there were
Right.
certain words that she would say, like dog. You'd
Right.
hear her say dog,
Yeah, a dog.
um,
Yeah.
or
We used to say that
quarter.
too, a
She didn't
dog.
say
So,
quarter, you know, it was quarter or whatever she said it. It was, yeah, just different things that she would say when she would get, and then you'd really hear it when she get mad.
right. Do you find you have issues with the color thing where you're at, Jesse? Because you're even deeper south. I mean, I know I'm Georgia, but Mississippi's like, then you're in the ocean. Like, there's no more south to go. You know what I mean?
mm,
So,
um, well, I will say well, at least here from my experience, it's different based on where you're at. So like I'm in the northern section, so things are a lot different than they would be further south.
oh,
Because like my dad, he's from like the Grenada, Calhoun. Well, I'm talking like y'all know where that's at. It's a lower portion of Mississippi, basically. I'll
okay,
say that. It's right before you get to the Delta. Delta people a
okay.
little different. I'm gonna leave them alone. But right before you get to the Delta, it can
Disclaimer on them folks, y'all. Yeah, and
yeah,
y'all know who you are.
they're a little different. I love y'all, but y'all different. But it's like before you get to the Delta.
Okay.
I noticed in that area they can be a little color struck.
Hmm.
Up where I live, it's not as big of a deal, but I think
Right,
too, um, my parents also didn't feed into it.
right.
So we didn't
Mhm.
really like my sisters were all different shades, so we might
Right,
notice it, but you don't, because like my
right.
mom is from Wisconsin originally,
Ooh,
and
cold.
um,
Jesus, Louises, Jefferson.
yes, you don't miss that
Holy,
cold.
hell no.
You don't miss
No,
it. And she and my dad, they met up there and then came back here because her family was originally from here. However, they all kind of some of them mixed race, things like that. So everybody's
Right,
really light.
right,
mm,
So initially, when they got married, people were like, "What are you doing?" Because my
right,
dad was a darker skinned man. So they're like, "What are you
right.
doing?" Or sometimes they would be like, "Oh, she thinks she's better than us." And she's like,
But
"I married a brown man.
that's
Why
what
would
I'm
I
yeah,
say
getting
there it
that?"
at.
goes. Oh, she thinks
That's
she
what I'm
better
getting
because
at.
she got
She
that
thinks
good
she
hair.
cute. She thinks she better than us. She
And
think
that
they
wasn't
got
it at all.
good hair. She think that's what I was getting. That's what I was waiting to hear because
Yeah, and I think my sister, she even dealt with that because she's more fair skinned. And
right.
so a lot of times it's been times we've been together and people don't think we're sisters.
You
They're
think
like,
you're related,
is she
huh?
something else? Are y'all half? No, that's my full sister.
They're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, that's I'm like, why do you care? But then a lot of the people
Right.
who ask me, they siblings don't have the same dad. I'm like, I can't help it. Y'all was
Oh,
out here. I can't help that. You
Crop
know.
dusting, crop dusting, crop dusting.
Right. That ain't my fault. My parents stayed together. I can't help that. But yeah, but thankfully they didn't make it like a huge deal for us, so
Right,
that
right,
helped for us a little bit. So it don't
right.
really bother me because people be like, "Oh, you black?" Yes, I know.
Right,
What?
right, right, right. Well, I know my daughter though, when she was younger, she used to go through her brother is darker than her, so she's like clear like a paper bag, see through. When she was born, I used to call her like the glow worm, the little worm you would hug and it would light up like from the inside. She looked like one of them, you know. And then her brother is a little chocolate baby, and so she used to be like, I'm white and he's black, you know what I mean? Because she was looking at the actual color, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Color. And we had to be like, no, but you guys are both, you know. And then he used to pick um the crayons for color, you know. So mom was orange, I'm the orange crayon, you
That's
know, dad was the black crayon, he was the brown crayon, and Jessica was like the yellow crayon, you know what I mean? So,
that is so funny. You're a family of colors. I
so
love it.
both kids expressed it in their own way, but they would never say that's not my brother, or that's not my or that's not my real, or that's not my, it wasn't, you know what I mean? It was just
Or that's
brother and
my
sister.
half.
Yeah, right. But it was just funny that both kids would express, because I'd say, well, if he's black and you're white, then whose mommy am I? Well, they're both our mommies. Then how can that be? Because he's black and you're white, or yeah, how does that work? And try to really scramble her brain to make her, you know what I mean, really think about what she was saying. You know what I mean? And she got
Well,
it, you know, but as a kid, you know, that's like, you know, 6, 7, you know what I mean?
my daughter would say, because my husband's Filipino and black, and
Mhm.
so she's Filipino and black, obviously. And
Right.
I would tell her, and I to try to get her to understand, I used to tell her, I'm just black. And so her little self, she'll
Uh-uh.
go, daddy's Asian and black, and I'm Asian and black, and mommy's just black.
Just black.
She's just black. And I'm like, it was the way she would say it.
She-
That's not
That's
how
so
she meant
cute.
it. Like, just black. You ain't got nothing over here. We're Asian.
That's cute though.
We're just black.
Right.
But I just had to let her know. I'm like, it's not like that though. I'm just saying
Right.
that, I
Right.
do have
Right.
other ethnicities, but I'm not gonna break them down to the quarter of an, eighth of a whatever. Just
Right.
let her know. Like, no, I'm just, I'm just black. I don't have any other nationality.
Right.
It was just funny the way she would break it down. Little kids are funny.
So I do kind of think though that, you know, like growing up in that, you know, that area. So in high school, I never really had a boyfriend, because at that time I was the black girl, and I was like around a bunch of
Mhm.
it was all white and Jewish. So it wasn't necessarily popular to interracially date when the girl is black. Now, if there was a white girl with a black dude, oh, that was totally socially acceptable where I was at.
I
You know what I
still feel
mean?
it's kind of like that
But
though.
huh?
I still feel
It
like it's kind of like that.
it is, but that made me kind of really internalize, well, what's wrong with me that I can't have a date, that, you know what I mean? Why are all the black dudes trying to holler at me? And there might have been like 3 of them, and girl, they
Oh,
look like what was under your shoe, you know, just
toe
like
up.
the lips, and I mean, just the this and the that, and girl, just not what I was looking for at that
At
crusty
all.
time in my life. You know what I mean? When I wanted like the teen bop and the tiger beat pinups type thing,
Teen
like the
Bob.
Ralph
I remember
Macchio
Teen
and all
Bob.
that. I wanted, you know, Ralph Macchio and like a John Taylor from Duran Duran pinup or something. And that's not what was coming my way because of where I lived, you know? So I felt, I think, some kind of way, and it just kind of carried through. Even now, I'm
You
52
trying to have
years
a
old.
Karate Kid pinup?
I used to have a Ralph Macchio. Girl, don't sleep on Ralph Macchio. I think Leif Erikson was the other one that was on the wall. Then of course, you know,
Yeah,
like
Billy D.
Prince and Michael
Williams.
Jackson, you know.
Sister had Billy D. Williams on her wall.
I did not have Billy D. Williams. I had the Michael Jackson poster, the one with Human Nature, with the yellow
Oh,
vest, and I had the wannabe starting something with the brown leather jacket with his hands in his pants and the tight jeans. Girl, I had it. Come on now, don't play. So the dudes that were at my school did not fit that
that
bill.
description.
No, and so I always thought that there was something wrong, with me. And then when you are insecure and you date people that are kind of like narcissistic or kind of like predatory, they kind of exacerbate that in you. So I was feeling even more like insecure by some of the stuff they would say or do, or you know what I mean? So I'm glad that my husband is so, was so sweet, and he is the way he is. He doesn't really subscribe to a lot of that. He might joke with me. He used to joke with me in the beginning a little bit about some of my insecurities, but when I told him that it really did bother me, then he stopped. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm outgoing, but I'm still funny about being in front of the camera and being taped. So,
Which is so fun. I mean, I being in front of a camera is not exactly my favorite spot either. I try to be better at it because, it's the nature of the business that we're in. We have
right,
to be in front of the camera, we have to put ourselves out there. And that's part of what helped me with being an introvert, because I didn't want to be like out there like that. But you kind of, if you're going to be in business, you kind of have to put yourself aside,
you
step
do.
out of that mindset, and
Right.
be like, okay, this is, I always say like Beyonce. I'm not Beyonce, but how she has Beyonce and then there's Sasha Fierce. So when she steps on the stage, she's Sasha
It's a
Fierce.
different, right.
She puts herself in a different mindset. And
Well,
so,
for somebody who's an introvert, I can see you having to do that. And then even Jessica, who's a total, not intro exo, just a total intro, you know what I mean? Like I can see her having to kind of like separate or disassociate almost and put on a whole nother persona in order to be able to deal, because you're
but
not
that's what
used
you
to
have
that. I
to
don't think.
do. I've done it so much now for years because of the type of, different work that I've done, and
Did you not?
being,
Right.
that I've had to. So now it's like,
Right.
it's easier for me to slide into that skin when I need
Right.
to. But
In
there
the
are
beginning, though, I'm
times,
sure it was hard.
no, it was really hard. And I
Yeah.
had anxiety about it because it was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Am I being fake? No, this is me.
Right.
What you see
Right.
is
Right.
me, but
Right.
I'm not as like out there as people would think that I am. And so
You're
there are
not on 100 all the time. You do turn the
no,
volume down.
and I have to tell my husband, I don't want to be on today. I want to be off.
Right.
I
Right.
want to be off, and I need to be off. If I'm not off, I'm gonna have it starts affecting me. And then
That's
I
a good
get,
way to put it, that you're gonna be off today. I got it.
yeah, I
I
have
like
to
that.
be off. I just need to be in my room. I need to be somewhere quiet. I need quiet music. I need
Right.
everything to just, and I have to rest so that I can be back on when I need to be.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it's all
Like you
about
gotta fill
energy.
up your energy banks, recharge.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all about energy when you're dealing with the introvert. We have to be careful about where we spend our energy funds.
Mm. You too, Jess?
Oh yeah. Like I said, that's why if somebody call me and I don't want to talk, I'll just go watch it ring. 'Cause ain't nobody got time. That's just what it is sometimes. Or I know they're gonna distract me from what I'm doing.
We
No,
snort.
no.
Snorted. Thank you, Jess.
That's not what I meant.
Oh,
Was you
God.
ignoring me? That's not what
I mean, I have to do that sometimes because
but you
like
mean that's
people will
the way
take
you
your
decompress.
energy if you let them.
That's
She
the way
is
you decompress.
so right about that. I mean, like, that's a whole nother podcast. People who steal your energy, people who, oh my God, oh man, we should, like, that's a whole nother topic.
Yes.
Just
Yeah,
write that
somebody
down.
write that down and put
We
that
need
in
to
the
do
jar.
that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
But
write that down and put that in the jar, Jesse, because that's a big one right there.
people who steal
okay.
your energy, you can have, somebody put it once, energy vampires or spirit vampires.
Oh,
They
that's a
suck
good,
you
yeah,
dry. They suck you
yeah,
dry.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
They
got a
absolutely
few of
do.
those.
I've had
I
a
have a
few of
few
those
of those.
myself. And it's
Mm.
like, oh goodness. When you see them calling, you're like,
I do
Mhm.
not
do
want
I
to
want to deal with
deal with them
it now?
today.
Yep.
I don't know if I have the energy for this. I'm gonna have to
Right.
put you on the back burner until I reserve enough energy to deal
You
with
know what
you.
though? I
Yes,
do that.
exactly.
So I know we talked about before looking at the phone and being like,
Mm-hmm.
and keep it pushing. I will. There are some of my energy vampires that do that to me, that drain the crap out of me. And so I'll look and let them call, and then they don't even leave a message. So I know they didn't want nothing, or they actually wanted something from me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they wanted to bother me, is all it was, about something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just leave them be. And then maybe like in a day or two, I'll be like, oh, I saw you called. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to answer. I was in the middle of something. Texting, what can I do for you?
Right. And I think there can be good ones to like good what you call it, vampires and bad. Because
Right,
like if my best friend calls me, I know we're gonna talk for like 2 hours. But sometimes
right,
I'm like, okay, I can't do that because then I'm not gonna
right,
have it for this. So I'm like, well,
right,
I'll call you back, but he knows me, so he ain't tripping. But like
right,
if it's sometimes it's good and bad.
right, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
because sometimes you just don't you just goodness. I'm telling you, it's a whole nother topic. It really
It
is.
doesn't really matter where or who's doing the sucking. You know what I mean? Of the energy. Stop, Keela. Saw your face. God. Jessica trying to disappear over there.
Said nothing of the sort. I'm
I'm like, who's
talking
doing the
energy
sucking of the
vampires. Continue,
energy from
continue,
you? The
continue.
vampire sucking. It's just that it's getting done. It doesn't really matter who's irritating you or who it is. It's just
Yeah.
the fact that it is. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just got to turn down
Well,
the
that's the
volume a
thing. You
little bit.
can't differentiate your energy.
Yeah,
Energy is going out regardless. So
true.
if it's somebody who's calling you, even if it's somebody you truly dearly love and you want to be there for them, if they are having something that's going to take a lot out of you, it's going to take a lot out of you.
I can, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And even though I will sit there and be like, okay, you know what? I am going to be there for my friend. I'm going to talk to them. But I am going to
Not
have to
right
shut
now.
down after I hang up the phone. And then I'm
But
like,
not right
I'm not
now.
accepting any other calls after that.
Yeah, that's
Like, nope, I can't talk to anybody else. I'm spent. I've
right,
spent my
right,
quarter.
right. The payphone is done.
I'm done.
Please deposit 85 cents for the next 3 minutes.
These kids have no idea about that anymore. Okay. They're like, what? That phone operator will shut you down.
And you'd
You
be like,
guys,
and then you try to do it real fast. You try to do
you're
it real
digging in your
fast.
pocket trying to get change out and count it out, and you can't get it out fast enough. And then she hung up.
Yep. Been
Okay,
there, done
excuse my
that.
ignorance. Are you talking about like a regular phone or a pay phone?
Pay
A
phone call.
payphone.
Okay.
We're telling our
Um,
age, Lena.
yeah, I don't know nothing about that, but I was trying, I was trying to relate, but it's not working. So
Telling our age.
So on that note, thanks, Jessica.
my bad.
I think we've exhausted our topic on that note, as she's just trying to throw us under
The age bus.
what year were you born? And you have to keep spinning that little dial and spinning
Oh,
that little dial and all right, ladies. Thank you for watching. We will see y'all
Down
next
Wednesday.
week with Judgy Jessica.
Bye. Yes.